Let's knit a swatch of some hand-dyed self-striping yarn and chat. One of the most frequent requests I get on my videos is to swatch more of my colorways. And unfortunately, I just don't have the time to swatch the hundreds of different colorways I dye each year. But I do make an exception for self-striping yarn. And that's because the size that you dye different stripes and then the number of stitches you get in the end, I feel like that's an important piece of information for the planning of that process. But with other colorways, the kind of pattern you'll get in the swatch depends on the gauge, how many stitches you have per inch, the stitch pattern you use, whether you're knitting or crocheting, whether it's flat or in the round. And so all of these variables can make a difference. Now, if you're an indie dyer who dyes multiple skeins, multiple batches of the same colorway, having some swatches, I think, is really, really helpful for customers. But as a small batch dyer playing around with tons of different techniques and colors, that becomes a lot trickier. But the ability for someone to swatch different types of hand-dyed colorways is one of the reasons why I started my Chanukah special to start with, because with all these mini skeins of yarn, you can swatch them to see how they might knit or crochet up to decide what types of colorways you may want to dye in the future. But anyway, I'm going to pop the number of stitches and the needle size that I used on the screen for this particular swatch that now I'm going to unravel and put back in the skein so I can list this in my shop. But I am planning on making a video where I chat about how a past swatch of hand-dyed self-striping yarn has helped me plan how I may want to dye up a colorway. So if you want to see that, subscribe.